Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks. Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that just kind of like peters out in the end, and nobody really seems like they want to be there, but they're doing it for the paycheck. Anyway, I'm Dan O'Keefe, and joining me as always is Anna Otto. Anna, how are you?
Dan, I know I told you this before we were recording, but I rescued a greyhound this week off the streets.
Everybody pat Anna on the back as hard as you can.
I am immediately going to heaven.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I don't see how I could go to hell. It's because people kept asking me, they're like, so you didn't
People kept asking you if you were going to hell?
No, well, yeah, that too. No, people kept asking me if I kept it. I was like, I'm not going to steal this dog off the street. He literally belonged to someone.
There's a I think it's because of the way you're wording it. You said I rescued a greyhound. That's different than like I found someone's dog and returned it to them. I rescued a dog makes it sounds like, oh, there was this emaciated hound on the street and I nursed it back to health.
I did do that with Jester, so I guess you're right.
Oh my lord. But
it's true. She was 13 pounds. We got her. She's 26 now.
Oh my god. You doubled her weight. You fattened that hog up.
Yeah, because when we pet her, it felt like touching a xylophone, Dan. It was foul. God. She needs every single bone and toy and chew and cookie she can get.
Oh my.
How are you, Dan? GW.
It is. I'm up and down. It's finals going on right now, and I have a paper that I need to do well enough on to pass the class.
Literally, ew. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, there's that, and then I'm in another class too that I have like a 98% in, and I just got a grade back on one like discussion assignment that we had, and the instructor feedback was it was one sentence long. Actually, it was two sentences long, and it was. These are just top-notch posts, Dan. Thank you for this.
And you were unable to get your head out of the room after that, huh?
Absolutely. I could not fit through the door. So big. So big. I am the discussion... It's an online class, so they're all not real discussions. But I'm the discussion leader for this week's discussion.
Okay, Dan.
So I posted whatever the prompts were, and then in order to see people's responses, I needed to leave a comment on it. And normally the professor was like, yeah, most people just comment like access or just a letter or something so they can see everything. So instead I wrote, here's a picture of my cat. And I posted a picture of my cat.
I bet everyone adored that.
It hasn't gotten any reactions yet. And honestly, I'm upset. Don't they know that I'm a top-notch poster? I'm a top-notch student in this class.
Crying if somebody posted a picture of their pet in a class.
Right?
That's all I want.
Right? That's like, I don't want to learn. I don't want to get my degree. None of that.
I'm literally only learning so that I can afford BarkBox for Jester. Not sponsored.
Hey, BarkBox, give us an email.
Literally, please.
Send us an email. I know that our audience is your target audience.
We probably are, though, Dan.
That's
dog
true.
Owners.
I don't have a dog.
You hate the term dog mom.
Yeah, because you're not. You didn't birth her.
I did. I nursed her back to health when she weighed half a pound on the streets. And as I said, I hope you know, completely related, but also not, one of Gage's favorite things to say is something that I said on this podcast. And it was, she used to be shy and scared of everything, and now she's just a bitch. Which is...
a fitting description of your dog and you?
Correct.
Yeah. You know, pet owners start to reflect start to look like their pets. You've taken on the personality.
We both shed a lot.
It's not a symbiotic relationship. It's more of a parasitic sort of thing. But it's co-parasitic.
Yes. I would agree.
Yeah. Speaking of co-parasitic, movie that we're talking about today is the end of the Fockers franchise, for now at least.
There's no way another one will ever happen again.
Hey, you never know. They're making a sequel to Election.
What is it? Second term?
Tracy Flick Can't Win is what it's called, I think. Anyway, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Little Fockers, or in the United Kingdom and Southeast Asia, for all of our United Kingdom and Southeast Asian listeners, Meet the Parents, Little Fockers.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
UK? Because I feel like that could be a poor translation in other countries, but last I checked, they speak English in England.
I'm not so sure. I think they speak British. Released in 2010, directed by Paul Weitz, who did not direct the first two movies. Jay Roach directed the first two. But he dropped out because he signed on to do something else. I Love
Isn't
You,
it also...
Man.
Oh, I thought it was because Dustin Hoffman said he wouldn't come back.
Well, maybe. Maybe. I didn't realize that Jay Roach and Dustin Hoffman were that close to each other, but...
They have fucking beef, Dan.
Yeah, directed by Paul Weitz, who directed who directed American Pie. Wrote and directed the first American Pie. And the 2002 movie About a Boy with Hugh Grant.
These all feel... That feels like a fake title, because I've definitely heard of About a Girl, question mark.
I haven't heard
Did I
that.
make that
About
up?
a Boy was nominated for an Oscar.
I think I made it up.
And Rachel Weisz is in it, too. It's a real movie. He also produced Pinocchio this year. The bad one with Tom Hanks.
Ooh!
Written by John Hamburg, once again. Not Jim Hertzfeld, though. He dropped off. Added on Larry Stuckey, who does not have a Wikipedia page, so I know nothing about him. Starring Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Blythe Danner, Terry Polo, Dustin Hoffman, Barbra Streisand, and Jessica Alba, Laura Dern, and Harvey Keitel. Those are the additions.
You didn't mention Kevin Hart or Jordan Peele.
That's correct. Or Nick Kroll.
Oh yeah, I forgot Nick Kroll was in it.
And John DiMaggio, the voice of Bob, or not Bob, the voice of Bender from Futurama. He's the other EMT with Jordan Peele. Yeah.
I couldn't pick that man up off the street. I would not know who he was.
Cinematography by Remy Edifarason. I didn't do any research before I tried to pronounce his name. He was a cinematographer on Fighting with My Family, the WWE movie that came out in 2019.
Dan!
That's an actual movie. Florence Pugh stars in it.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I think I saw a spoiler for, oh, fuck. What movie was she in? Don't worry, darling. And I'm going to have to watch it tonight after we're done recording because now I am morbidly curious. I was only a little curious before.
This is released by both Universal and Paramount, which was really confusing. I watched the story of where I watched this is unimportant, but I turned it on and then the Universal logo played and then the Paramount logo played, and I was like, is something wrong with this footage? What am I watching?
The multiverse.
Released on December 22nd, 2010, a mere almost 12 years ago.
How dare you?
With a budget of somehow $100 million. It made $310 million at the box office. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 9% approval rating.
That popped up when I was watching it, and I screamed.
As star-studded as it is heartbreakingly lazy, Little Fockers takes the top-grossing trilogy to embarrassing new lows.
Woof.
What a review.
My mom really likes this series, for the record.
Really?
Isn't that kind of jarring? And
yeah,
unexpected?
It seems so crude for her.
Yeah. No, she really likes it.
What about it? The sex jokes?
No, that's what I like about it. No, I don't know. She likes it. Because I told her we were watching, and she goes, "Ugh, I love Meet the Fockers," and I was like, "Excuse me, you what?"
Do you think it could be something like, I was talking about this with people yesterday. Apparently, there is a thing where you are drawn to listening to music that is representative of things that you didn't feel or like weren't allowed to feel in childhood. Not in like a, like, we're going to punish you for it, but just like either culturally or family wise, that was just something you didn't do. I listened to like a lot of angry music. I was not an angry child. I did not have an angry childhood. Mm-hmm. But
that's fair. I listened to a lot of sad music, and it's not like I wasn't allowed to be sad. It's just like I had a happy childhood, I guess.
Yeah. So it's like you use it to like feel vicariously things that you didn't feel regularly then.
Interesting, because I've never felt that way when listening to music. I'm just vibing, you know.
Yeah.
Like Sabrina Carpenter's new album. This is a Sabrina Carpenter house, so.
Wow, not Olivia Rodrigo.
Absolutely not.
But do you think that's similar with your mom in this movie? She had a very buttoned up childhood, so when she sees comedies like this, she's like, "Ooh, I can live a little." I
don't know, because usually she's not into the raunchy comedy. Well, that's a lie. I don't know, Dan. I'll have to ask my mom. I'll take her to therapy. I'll be like, "Hey, let's unpack this. You said something really confusing and weird to me."
This movie was nominated for 3 awards. They were all Razzie Awards.
No!
Worst Screenplay in 2010. It did not win that. It lost to The Last Airbender. The other nominees that year were Sex and the City 2, The Twilight Saga Eclipse, and Vampires Suck, the Twilight parody movie.
I saw that one.
In theaters?
Yeah, in theaters.
Wow, okay. It was also nominated for Worst Supporting Actress. Barbra Streisand was nominated. She did not win because Jessica Alba won.
Oh, Jessica Alba was terrible in this movie.
I think that if she was supposed to be hated the entire time, she did a great job. I hated her from the moment she popped up on screen.
I have an issue with all drug reps ever since I watched Dope Sick, so...
Yeah,
That's kind of a joke and kind of not really. One time Gage told me that a drug rep brought him crumble cookies to work, and I said, "Why the fuck are you eating them?" So
Give
I
him
said,
nothing.
"He Will Poultered you."
Take nothing. Take nothing
Literally.
from him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ever since Dope Sick and just like Scrubs, I will never trust a drug rep in media.
Amen.
They're all evil. They're evil people.
Evil!
Meet the Fockers in its opening week grossed $50 million.
That's it?
Yeah. Well, it's in its opening week. That's not a bad total, but Meet the Fockers made $70 million. This one, Little Fockers, made $50 million in that time. Okay. So it not only did not live up to its predecessor, but it is also the lowest grossing film in the trilogy.
Well, that I feel like happens when it's a trilogy.
Yeah. Do you know what the highest grossing movies of 2010 were?
2010?
Yes.
Probably Eclipse is up there.
Eclipse is... Yes, it was 6.
Did any Harry Potters come out that year?
Deathly Hallows Part 1, which was the 3rd highest grossing movie. The top 2 were both Disney movies.
In 2010?
Yes.
Princess and the Frog?
No. Princess and the Frog did not make much money. That's why they haven't made a traditionally animated movie since then.
Oh, I liked Princess and the Frog. I'm trying to think.
I don't think you're going to get them.
Can I have a hint?
Yeah, one of them is the 3rd movie in a series.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Toy Story 3.
Oh, duh! Ugh,
and the other one is Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, the live action one?
Yeah.
Man, I saw a lot of movies in theaters that year, because I definitely saw that one too.
Iron Man 2 was 7th. I saw that in theaters 3 times, so I bumped it on up. And Inception was 4th.
I loved Inception.
Me too. Me too.
Peak pick me era when I was watching that movie and telling everyone it was my favorite. I did not understand it.
Yeah, so this was the first time that I watched this movie because of course I did. I did not realize it was 12 years old at this point. That was a surprise. But I watched this. I knew I had to watch this for when we were going to record this week. And I had to go to New Jersey this weekend. So I had two 6-hour flights that I needed to kill time on. And I was like, I'm not going to watch this on those flights because it's going to make them feel longer. So,
Dan.
So I wasn't going to, but I was on JetBlue. And in the seatback entertainment on JetBlue right now, you know what's an option?
Meet the Little Fockers.
Little Fockers. So I watched this movie on a flight from Newark, New Jersey to Los Angeles, California.
Did you cry the whole time?
I watched this about an hour in is when I started watching it. And then when it ended and I still had 3 hours of flight left, I tried to crack a window.
Dan!
Okay, it wasn't that bad. I don't know if I laughed much during it, but I think I enjoyed this movie more than the last one.
Hot take. Okay. Should we dive in? Because I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So.
Let's dive in. It's 5 years later. This movie is apparently set in 2008. It was filmed in 2008.
No,
and then it was
I guess
shelved
makes
for a
sense,
while.
Right?
And the reason that Dustin Hoffman is barely in it is because they couldn't get him to agree for a while to come back for it. And then they gave him a bunch of money, and that's why his scenes are so not connected to everybody else the entire time.
Yeah, he's in Spain? ?
I am in Spain without the A. You're in Spin?
I'm not even.
And Greg is planning to celebrate his twin's 5th birthday party. His daughter Samantha hates him, and his son Henry's an idiot.
Henry's so stupid. He's so cute. Oh my god, he's adorable. And his lizard Arthur, which is my nephew's name, LOL.
Your nephew is a lizard.
Yes.
But of course, you know who's coming to visit? The in-laws. Your gasp set off a text on your phone.
How'd you know?
I heard it.
I didn't even hear it. I saw it light up. It was a
It
notification.
vibrated. It vibrated.
Oh, well, I moved it to the couch now. It shan't interrupt us again, Dan.
I can always tell.
Oh, God.
Jack has had a heart attack recently, and he has a heart condition. And also, he's upset because Debbie divorced Dr. Bob because he cheated on her with a nurse.
Classic Dr. Bob.
Yeah, what a seminal character in this franchise that I cared about.
You should.
And cared about seeing more. He was going to have Bob as the head of the family, the successor of the Burns clan. But now it's Greg's turn.
Why doesn't he just ask one of his daughters to be the head?
You want him to ask a woman?
Yes. Hasn't he ever heard of matriarchs?
I'm sorry. That's not how you pronounce patriarch.
Oh, sorry.
He is a bastion of the patriarchy, and he will allow it to continue.
Lord above. I don't
Greg,
sit for the patriarchy.
Greg must become the God Focker.
Come on, you didn't laugh at that shit?
I did laugh at that. I laughed at that
good.
name.
Good.
Also, they're living in an apartment that's like so nice. I love their apartment that they're living in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because their house is being renovated. Oh, what a problem to have.
On a teacher and nurse salary?
Right? Well,
Goddamn.
and he said that he got a promotion. He's like the head of the nursing department at his hospital.
Yeah, but he said he makes less than he did when he was a nurse.
Yeah,
so
right?
riddle me that.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Because I know Gage's mom is a head of a nursing department, but she works at like a private office, and so she makes a pretty good money. But I don't know. I'm just
He became
saying.
Italian there for a little bit. She makes a pretty good money.
She makes a pretty good money. She does.
So Jack is still spying on him as he's there. And Greg is introduced to a pharmaceutical rep named Andy Garcia, but not the good Andy Garcia. Jessica Alba, who wants to sex him with the dick pill. She sells dick pills.
She
boner
sells
pills.
Viagra, sort of.
Yeah, Viagra, that's good for your heart. I mean, the story behind Viagra is it was the erectile dysfunction treatment came secondary from what they discovered. It was just something to like slow your heart rate down.
Dan.
Or lower your blood pressure or something.
I learned something fucking crazy a few days ago.
Okay.
Did you know that apparently Viagra can attack the parts of your eyes that produce like some color function in your eyes? So temporarily, you could have a blue tint if you.
Is that why it's a blue pill?
I don't think so, but
to warn you.
Yep.
And then if you look at it and it just looks white, then you're like, oh no.
Pretty much.
I didn't know that at all. That is interesting.
Yeah, my friend David told me that. You know David.
Yeah.
Well, you know of David.
I know of David.
You've met David, sort of virtually.
Yeah.
Hi, David.
Hi, David. Just fun friend conversations.
About Viagra.
Let me tell you about this erectile dysfunction pill, friend.
Okay, he works in medicine, so it makes sense, but like...
And Andy Garcia, she is flirtatious as fuck.
I mean, let's
to the
be
point.
Honest. Jessica Alba, beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman. Not a great actress.
Wasn't she on Alias?
I think so. The only things that I've seen her in is the Fantastic Four movies. Jessica Alba was on Dark Angel, I think. Jennifer Garner was on Alias.
Fuck, I knew it was somebody else with a J name. Well, my parents used to watch Alias. But I didn't ever actually watch it. It just was the soundtrack to me falling asleep. Anyway.
So she gets Greg to agree to be a spokesperson for a pill, Sustango erection pills, and he's going to talk at a medical conference to promote Sustango. And he gets a bunch of free samples, brings them home. Guess who sees the pills?
But why does he need the samples?
At home? I don't know. He never said they was having problems. Why would she give him...
Like, maybe he's supposed to give them to his patients? But I feel like that's reckless. I gotta watch Dope Sick again. I feel like I'll answer more questions if I watch it.
There are a lot of medical ethics questions that are not explored in this movie that probably should be.
They are explored in Dope Sick. I loved that show. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. I loved that show.
Also... Greg had given advice to Owen Wilson to do like a low-key engagement thing to his girlfriend, and then after he does a low-key engagement or tries to like proposal to his girlfriend, she dumps him.
Because she sounds like a bitch. I'm gonna say it. She sounds high maintenance.
She wanted a big ol' thing.
Like, sounds like, well, the twine, that's pretty lame. But that's just me. He offered to tie twine around her finger instead of giving her a big ring, for the record.
Yes. Yeah. If you haven't watched the movie and you're listening to this, first off, why? So Jack sees the boner pills and he thinks that Greg is no longer sexually attracted to Pam.
Oh my God.
Weird thought to have as a dad for your daughter.
I know. I feel like if my dad ever saw something like that in Gage's suitcase, he would literally close the door and run away.
Yeah, that is just
because my dad is a little shy.
You would not talk about.
No, he'd be like, "Oh, Gage, your suitcase was unzipped."
And then he'd scurry away.
Literally. I have a story, but it's for off camera.
So at the medical conference, after Jack tries to stalk Greg there, by following him, and his excuse is, "I'm going to get milk." This is so lazily written. It's just lazy. Yeah. This whole movie's lazy.
Yeah, it's not a strong third.
At the medical conference, after Greg gives a speech and apparently kills it, and Andy Garcia is like, "Oh my God, give me a drink. Let's have love."
Let's have love.
He runs into Dr. Bob at the bar, who I don't care about.
He looks rough. I'll put it that way. He looks rough. That's how you know.
Yeah. Hey, Anna started dating me when I had a goatee.
She's stronger than I am.
For some reason.
She's a stronger woman than I. She saw you for what was on the inside.
Yeah, but I was never under any delusion that looked anything other than horrible.
Why did you have a goatee? Was it for a show?
No, I was just bored.
Oh, no.
It was after I had shaved my really long beard.
Yeah.
And then I grew it out longer more and then shaved it into a goatee.
At least you
I don't
didn't have
self-respect.
At least you didn't have a soul patch. Soul patches are they activate my fight or flight.
Yeah, they should. The hair under my lip is blonde, so you don't even see it.
Oh God, a blonde soul patch. Can you imagine?
I can.
Nasty.
I've seen it. So Dr. Bob was going to be the Bob father. Okay.
I have nothing to add.
Yeah. So Jack talks to his daughter and he's like, "Hey, why don't you divorce Greg and get back with Kevin?"
I'm sorry, the way you said that had me dying.
Hey, why don't you divorce your husband?
Listen, I like Owen Wilson in this movie because I think he's a great actor.
Yes.
His character, also because I find his character just so, what's the word? Insufferable?
Insufferable in a good way?
No, like
in a fun to watch way?
Yes.
You like to watch him fail?
I like to watch him be awful. Like at the end when he's putting his hands over Jack and he goes, "My healing's not working." That shit had me rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, anywho.
So Greg and Pam have a fight at the clinic. I don't exactly remember why they're at the clinic. Pam's hurt. Someone's hurt. Someone got hurt. I don't know.
Wait, did we skip ahead to when
Kevin got hurt?
his son fell and hurt
Oh,
his leg?
yeah. His son
Or
fell.
his arm? Because they went
arm.
to the early learners or whatever, right? And then...
Yeah, they go to this private school that they're thinking about going to, and it's the stereotypical, "Oh, you don't get grades here at this school. Every young learner is different. Instead of grades, we rate you on a scale of sunshine to rainbow."
Ooh, I would excel.
And there's a rock wall. Now it's time for free play.
I love
Also,
that.
I also
my day was free play.
I skipped over the part where Jack takes the boner pills, and then he's had the erection for longer than 4 hours. So Greg needs to shoot adrenaline into his erect penis.
Every time I think of this trilogy, that is the scene I am thinking of.
Really?
Yes.
And you like
it? I think it's funny. Because I am 12. I am a 12-year-old boy, Dan.
That's it. You weren't allowed to be a 12-year-old boy while you were young, so that's why you gravitate to this.
You're right, clearly. I was a prude, and I wasn't a boy.
So, as he is injecting the adrenaline, his son, Henry, sees and is scarred for life. Or not. Scarred for slightly a little bit.
He's like... shook.
Yeah, he's shook.
But I don't think it ruins him. He's like, what, 4? He's fine.
5.
I don't buy for 1 second that these children are supposed to be 4.
They look like 8. The daughter looks like she's like bordering on like 4th or 5th grade.
I know, she's ready to go to high school. Like,
yeah.
These 2 kids about to go to college.
These kids of their own.
Mm-hmm. These kids, geriatric.
These kids, dead. Old age.
Old age. Natural causes. Yeah. Goddamn.
So after they get in a fight in the clinic because Greg is trying to do too much and he's stressed about it and whatever. It's like Pam is the most regular, like normal character in the franchise. One thing I will say, she looks beautiful.
I was going to say she looks cuter this movie. This is her
Yeah.
cutest movie. Her hair doesn't look awful.
Yes. Especially after the last one.
The hair in that last movie, sick to my stomach.
So he goes back to their house, which is unfinished, and there's also a hole in the ground because they're putting in a pool or something. And I skipped over a scene where Harvey Keitel is jacking him for money.
I would also have been taken advantage of because I know nothing.
Me too. I'm too trustful. I'll just trust somebody and say, oh, if it takes that long, okay, it takes that long. I guess that's it.
Me too. I'd be like, I'm trying to get my house redone. I'm trying to get everything done. If it's going to take a little extra time and money, I get it. It's inconvenient, but I get it.
Yeah.
Foolish, Dan. We're foolish.
Apparently, you know who else is foolish? Andy Garcia. She pops up at the house with Chinese food and wine.
Why is she trying to freak when this man is literally showing him her pictures of his beautiful family?
Right?
And
like how he loves his family.
Yeah, why is she trying?
Perfect spot to jump on it.
You're right. Nothing says let's have sex not saying let's have sex.
Yeah, so anyway, she drinks too much and then takes some of the boner pills, which gets her hot and horny.
I'm
which
also
I didn't realize that's how
pretty
they worked.
sure is that I thought women okay, they always say, now hear me out. When I was little, I was confused because I'd be watching TV with my parents, right? And my dad usually, because he's my dad, he usually mutes when Viagra commercials come on. He goes, we don't need to hear this, and mutes it.
Does he do that for all of the kinds, like Cialis also?
Yes. Any sexually driven pill, muted immediately. Like I said, he doesn't like that kind of stuff. But, sometimes my mom and I would be watching TV and it would come on. They said if you were a woman, you shouldn't handle those pills.
Yeah.
Why is she not dead? I thought that meant that you would just die if you were female and you touched so much as breathed air in the same room as a piece of Viagra.
Oh my lord.
A crumb.
A crumb of Viagra?
Literally. That's
Ew.
That could be a good book. A crumb of Viagra.
I looked it up, and it basically says that Viagra does the same thing in women where it raises blood flow to the genitals, so it could lead to more sensitivity and stimulation, but there has been no studies of safety, so...
So you won't just, immediately die?
Yeah, I don't think you immediately die.
Wow.
I think you're safe for a little bit. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
I spent 27 years of my life thinking that if I entered into somebody's home and they had Viagra in it and I accidentally brushed a hand on the foil packet, that I would die.
This is like that thing where the cops are saying, if there's fentanyl even near me and I even acknowledge its presence, I'll die.
Literally.
But for others, it's fentanyl. For you, it's Viagra.
Viagra, not even once.
So she starts macking on him and trying to have sex with him. And Jack, who was going there to apologize, shows up to the house, sees what looks like Greg and Andy being hot and heavy.
Gross. Unsexy.
Yeah. And he leaves disgusted, and then they fall into the hole and get knocked out for the night. If you get knocked out from a fall and then wake up hours later, there's serious brain damage going on.
Yeah. I will say, though, it's kind of lucky that she was on top of him because then he had a blanket built in. I was concerned for everyone's coldness because she didn't have any clothes on except for her undies.
And this movie takes place in the fall or winter?
God, the way I would have been frozen.
Oh. Well, she's got increased blood flow in one part of her body, so she's fine.
Then she's probably frozen in the rest of her body.
Yeah.
Oh. Burr, am I right? Am I focusing on the wrong thing? Probably.
So, guess who shows up? Bernie and Roz, Greg's parents.
Bernie.
For the birthday party.
Yes. Bernie's the one who finds him in the pit with Andy, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes, he finds him in the pit, and he is immediately trustworthy of his son.
Also,
for him.
why is it that Andy wakes up and she's like, "Oh my god, I was so fucked up last night," and everybody just lets it go?
Yeah, they're like, kooky Andy, that's assault, ma'am. You assaulted
Literally,
him.
I'm like, the police are on their way, ma'am.
I don't know. It's just...
Maybe it's because I'm looking at this through the lens of 2022.
Yeah, not 2010, 2008.
When assault was funny, I guess.
What do you mean? It's still funny.
Men can't be assaulted. Ha ha! False.
So at the birthday party that Kevin is throwing, it's a carnival and a half.
Oh my god. It looks intense.
Yes.
For 5-year-olds, I had a carnival-themed birthday party when I turned 10.
Uh-huh.
There were no dancers. My mom and
Did you
my
just have like
mom's...
bozo buckets?
What?
You don't know what bozo buckets are.
I know who Bozo is, the clown.
Yeah, bozo bucket is like an arcade game where it's just a bunch of buckets in a row and you throw balls into them.
Oh, no, we had a cotton candy machine and a bouncy house. It was a joint birthday party, so it was my mom and this other little girl's mom. Bouncy house. There was probably games. This was obviously 12 years ago, so I don't really remember, if I'm being honest with you.
It was your 10th birthday party was 12 years
ago?
ago?
Oh, fuck. I just said I was 22. 15 years ago. God damn. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Just want to remind you that time doesn't stop. At the birthday party, Greg challenges Jack to a fight, and they have a fight in the ball pit.
That first punch that was thrown, the way I gasped.
I knew it was coming. Strong punch.
Did you love all the Jaws references?
I did. That was fun.
Yes, even the Zolly?
The what?
Oh, the Zolly.
The Zolly?
Yeah, the Zoom Ollie.
That's... Wait, you mean the like Spielberg shot? The zoom in as it's...
called a Zolly. Because you're dollying
No, that is not what it's called. It's not called a Zolly.
Yes, it is, bitch.
No, it's not. It is not called a... It is not. It's a dolly zoom.
That's called a Zolly.
No, it's not.
You got me so messed up right now. You got me so messed up. Okay, I Googled it. Zolly shot.
Who calls it that?
Everyone on Google.
Everyone.
It says right here,
Everyone
a dolly
on
zoom,
Google.
also known as a Zolly. Fight me, bitch. It's literally got pictures from Jaws. You can come to Wisconsin and catch these hands.
A Zolly sounds like a lollipop you buy at the zoo.
It's an
animal-shaped lollipop.
I'm so heated right now.
Yeah, but yes, I did like the Jaws references, including the dolly zoom.
The Zolly.
Be gone. Be done.
I will literally die on this hill. This is the hill.
During the fight, Jack has a heart attack, collapses. Greg takes charge of the situation.
Shocked.
Yeah, Greg takes charge of the situation because he's a nurse, and of course he would. And starts looking after him. And Jack says that, after observing him, he checks, he does the lie detector test again, and he says that Greg was innocent. And because he saved his life, all is fine and dandy with them. And Jordan Peele shows up. And he's like, "Oh, did he trip? Wink.
Out a window? Wink, wink."
I will say, Jordan Peele, very funny in this movie. Kevin Hart, in this movie.
That's true. Kevin Hart kind of was playing like the coworker that you have to be nice to because he's kind of always there.
And then Jack approves of him not to be the God Focker, but to be the Greg Focker, which is just his name.
Yeah.
He approves of him to be himself. What a man.
I'm so glad for everyone.
And then it is 4 months later on Christmas Day. Everyone comes to spend time at Christmas at the new house. They give Jack a yarmulke.
I loved it. I immediately started singing
Barukata. I don't know.
No, I was gonna say Miami Boys Choir.
Oh my gosh.
Still living rent free.
And they did a genealogy test, and they found out that he is part Jewish. Jack is not impressed because he's anti-Semitic.
I don't think that's true. I think he just is like, I don't want to be like the Fockers.
And then Bertie tells them that they sold their house in Miami. They're moving to Chicago. 2 houses down.
God.
And then
no.
Jack and Dina are also moving there.
No.
And then they all try to warn them against that. And then the credits roll, and Jack watches a video of Greg mocking Jack during the speech for Sustango. And 98 minutes later, we are done.
Do you think that they were purposefully trying to open it up for a 4th movie?
I don't know. I think they wanted to leave it open, but the only reason that Robert De Niro signed on for this is because he got paid $20 million.
I was going to say, because the check was fat.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wanted to make this movie.
No. It could have been done after Meet the Parents.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even have... Like, it's not even called Meet the Little Fockers. Like, it barely fits. That always has bothered me.
Yeah, like the fact that like Owen Wilson stayed on for this was surprising for me.
Owen was like, you know what? Let me get my check.
In the years between this, he was in Fantastic Mr. Fox and
Cute.
Night at the Museum 2. And Cars 2 and Midnight in Paris. He was like constantly working.
I love Midnight in Paris. He was getting that check. Those are all fun movies.
Yeah. I think that he maybe needs a better agent or needed a better agent because he's a much better actor than his movie resume.
I don't know. Midnight in Paris is a good movie.
Midnight in Paris is, but like Drillbit Taylor.
Okay, that was the first like PG-13 movie I saw in theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
With my mother and a friend. And let me tell you right now, that was not the movie to be seen with my mother.
No, of course not.
No, it was not. I remember begging her to take me.
Jesus, okay.
I wanted to be cool, Dan.
Okay. Little Fockers, give me your thoughts. Why do you like it?
Because it's fun. I don't know. Okay, first of all, I have a soft spot in my heart for Ben Stiller, as we know, but apparently instead of latching onto Zoolander, I latched onto this.
Yeah, that's an interesting...
So let's start there.
Also, Ben Stiller jacked in this movie.
Ben Stiller, hot. Changed my mind.
I'm not going to.
Thank you.
You're correct.
Thank you. I always was embarrassed by that, and I'm glad that you're here to reassure me.
Anytime. I mean, he is hot.
He's so hot.
Absolutely. This was also this was filmed right around the time that they made Tropic Thunder, so it makes sense that he was as built as he was. Also, Tropic Thunder, so much of a better movie in every single way.
Tropic Thunder is wild.
It is.
The fact that people, they got away, I know it's supposed to be, isn't...
Robert Downey Jr. is in blackface.
But isn't it because he's playing someone who's in blackface or something like that?
Yeah.
The fact that he got away with that.
And was nominated for an Oscar for it.
Yeah, and people, if I remember correctly, aren't people in the black community that's hilarious?
Yeah. It only works because it is so well written.
Yeah. Oh man. I've only seen that movie one time, but it was funny.
Yeah.
I'll give you that much.
Unlike Meet the Little Fockers or whatever the fuck it's called.
It's called Little Fockers, Dan.
I bet it is. Yeah, it's what everybody just feels so checked out. Except for Jessica Alba, who's on crack.
Well, oh god. It was her first one. She needed to get that check as well.
Yeah, she was ready for the spinoff.
What's Jessica Alba up
Andy
to?
Garcia. She owns a company called The Honest Company, which is valued at $550 million.
Oh, so she's good.
Yeah, they sell baby, personal, and household products.
Yeah, I definitely think I own something from them.
Yeah.
Because they're at Target.
Acting-wise, she hasn't been in anything since 2019.
You know what, girl? If you needed to switch to beauty products and baby products,
why not?
That's fine. Do it. Get that check. I don't know how much louder I have to say it.
Absolutely. Go for the gold. Also, she's only 41.
She looks younger than that. She's gorgeous.
She is.
I mean, we
so
all know.
pretty. Yeah, but like everybody's checked out. The script is not well written. This movie is so serviceable. I think it's much more. It's much more trying to be like a straight family comedy versus some of the like cringe comedy, gross out stuff that was in the first two movies, which is why I kind of slightly like it more than the last one, at least.
That's fair. I'm trying to think what was in the last one that was super gross out that you didn't like.
Just all of it.
Oh, okay.
Just all.
That's
anything.
fair.
I don't know.
I think the first one. Well, no, I like the second one the best because I love Barbara Streisand. Sorry to be a basic theater bitch. But
there's very little trivia about this, but
they didn't want there to be any. That's why.
The first trailer for this was shown before screenings of Grown Ups and Dinner for Schmucks.
Dinner for
And
Schmucks.
The second trailer was shown before. Let me see if you remember any of these movies. Morning Glory.
No.
Unstoppable, the train movie.
I don't
Chris
watch
Pine.
movies about trains. Wait.
And Denzel Washington and Chris Pine are in it.
Oh no, I was thinking of that one.
The Taking of the Pelham 123.
No, it's like the apocalypse and the train has all these different cities on it.
Oh, Snowpiercer?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
I didn't want to watch it. What?
That's the guy who made Parasite. He made that.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch it, and then Gage was like, "You're gonna like it," and I did. He was right.
It was also shown before screenings of the movie Skyline.
These are made up. I've never
Right?
heard of any of these.
This is Barbara Streisand's lowest rated movie on all websites.
That's fair.
And the reason that Debbie got a divorce from Dr. Bob, this is sad. Her actress died from pneumonia in 2005.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is sad. Fuck.
Yeah, sorry.
Dang, bring the mood down. Okay. I thought you were just going to say she didn't want to come back or something, but then...
As I said, Jay Roach did not direct this movie. I was wrong. So John Hamburg was the co-writer of the first two movies. He dropped out to make I Love You, Man. Jay Roach, what were you working on in 2008-ish?
Being away from...
Dinner for Schmucks.
Oh.
He was making... Well, he was producing the movies Smother, which I don't know, and Bruno with Sacha Baron Cohen. And directing Dinner for Schmucks.
Do you remember when Sacha Baron Cohen did a nude cover for a magazine as Bruno?
I do.
It was in the airport, and I was going on vacation somewhere, and they had to cover it up. Like with another magazine.
Yeah. I believe it.
Core memory.
And then Little Fockers was filmed in late 2008, early 2009. And it was pushed back to incorporate Dustin Hoffman, who had originally opted out. And that's why Jack uses MySpace to spy on Greg instead of Facebook.
Fucking MySpace.
And that's all the trivia. Anna, would this movie be better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as the pharmaceutical rep?
Oh, better. I'd love to see it.
I want to see him getting hot and heavy.
Yes.
Make it I Love You, Man. I don't care.
Ooh.
Let's get wild.
I would love that.
Now imagine it with Jimmy Stewart as Jessica Alba's role.
Also hot. I love it.
Now, Greg, you gotta try the boner pills. You gotta sell me on these boner pills, Greg.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
Oh.
On a scale of 1 to 5 erections, what do you give this movie?
Dan.
No, God.
The way that took me by surprise. I give it 3 erections.
Wow. Okay.
I had
That's lower
fun.
than I thought. That's low. Honestly, that's lower than I thought.
It's my least favorite of the 3. As
Okay.
always, it goes 2, 1, 3. I have not met a trilogy where I don't feel that way yet. Except for maybe the prequels for Star Wars because I like Jar Jar Binks.
You are morally despicable.
I'm chaotic.
Yeah. Seriously. I give it 2. I give it 2 erections.
That's higher than I thought.
I gave the last one 1.5, and I like it more than that. So,
what? Oh, that's
you know,
right. I forgot you said that.
Yeah.
Wow. Shocked. Wow.
Well, thankfully, we're done with this. Now, we no longer have to watch these movies, and I, for one, am tickled pink. Okay, be gone. So, since it is the Christmas season now,
It is. Ho, ho, ho,
we're gonna
Dan.
do... Oh, thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Hoe it up. We are
always
gonna
am.
do a couple of kind of Christmas movies. Not out-and-out Christmas movies, but either have the Christmas spirit or have aspects of Christmas in the story.
I love that. It's giving
so-
Christmas.
It's giving season.
Every time I read my hashtag Giving Tuesday post, I think to myself, it's Giving Tuesday.
So next week we are going to be watching Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Live and living color.
No, not the musical. Not Aaron Tveit.
No.
The movie.
No. Fine.
So get excited for that.
Woot.
In the meantime, if you want to find us on social media, we're on Facebook and Twitter at And In Conclusion, on Instagram at In Conclusion Podcast. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/InConclusion. I am on Twitter at Dan O'Keefe86 and on TikTok at Not Dan O'Keefe. Anna, where are you?
Currently, I'm on my couch looking at a light bulb that I think is going to burn out soon.
Ooh, we can only hope.
I know. I'm gonna add some drama tonight. You can find me on Instagram at OptimusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter at AutobotsRoll out, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O in Roll, and the O and out are zeros. You can also find my dog on Instagram at JesterThePup1017.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. Amazing. Wonderful.
Thank you. I know.
We will be back with Catch Me If You Can. In the meantime, everybody stay safe, have fun, get vaccinated, maybe wear a mask. I don't know. Just do what's safe.
And get
Bye-bye.
your flu shot. Bye. Oh my fucking god, a new toy?
A Creative Land podcast.